This is a quick review of the Amazon Kindle. So I recently purchased this about 2 or 3 months ago, and I'm just going to give you my review, my opinion, and my experience of it, and whether I think it was even worth it. So firstly, I want to tell you the reasons why I bought it, because I feel like that's important so you know what problems I was hoping this would solve. So the first reason I bought it was because I was simply running out of space on my bookshelf. Physical books take up space and you need to accommodate for that. If you don't have the space, it can become quite a hassle because you don't really want to tuck these books away in any old place. You kind of want them out on show, because you feel a little bit proud of it, they're aesthetically pleasing, and you don't want to clutter up other areas. So the second reason was that I would take out a book and not read it. So my journey into work is about 10 minutes on the train, and I would spend time picking out a book and packing it in my bag. But I noticed that whilst I was on the train, I couldn't be bothered to pull it out because it felt like more hassle than it was worth, because it can be quite inconvenient pulling out a proper book on the train, especially when standing and especially when it's crowded. The third reason is that some books are really small and quite pricey, so I order a lot of my books off Amazon, and often they would come and I would be so disappointed in the size, especially considering the price. I just didn't think it was worth it. It's happened a few times, and maybe that's due to my lack of due diligence, but it was always heartbreaking waiting for this book to arrive and it's really small. Like, it didn't even feel like it was worth it taking up any space on my already limited shelf. And the fourth reason is I just wanted something different. I'm not really a fan of audiobooks because I really like physical books. I like the smell, I like the feel, but they can become quite troublesome and inconvenient. For one, you have to carry it around with you. When you read it, you have to pretty much use two hands, and like I said, on the train that's quite hard. If there's words that I don't understand, I either have to write them down or I have to have my phone or my computer next to me so that I can go search it up, and it's just So what is my opinion of the Kindle after owning it for about 2 months? Was it worth it? Yeah, it pretty much was. I have no regrets in buying this. For one, it solves the space issue, and if not solving it, it slows down the rate at which the space was being occupied. There are some books that I will just buy physical, and there are some books where I'm like, you know what, I'm just gonna get this on the Kindle. Now when I'm going to work, I don't have to think about what book should I take and worry about packing it. I just make sure I got my Kindle, and it's much easier to pull out on the train or read on the go because it fits in my pocket. I mean, look how small this thing is. Like, I can hold it in one hand pretty easily. I don't need my other hand. I now find myself reading a lot more on journeys because it's so easy just to pull out a Kindle and have your whole library there at your fingertips. My problem on buying books that are really small, now I can look and see how big a book is on Amazon, and then I can decide, you know what, I don't think this book is worth me buying and ordering. I'm just going to buy it on my Kindle, and there I have it. I can finish it within a day if I want. It doesn't take up no extra space, like I said, and it's much more convenient and have much more use cases. And now for certain titles, for example, fiction books, because you're not really going to take notes and stuff, it's a very streamlined reading process, you know. I don't really need to go back and forth with pages to compare. I can just go through it, and I love the fact that it has the percentage of how much of the book you've read, so you kind of always know your progress. Overall, I think it's great to have in conjunction with physical books. There's always a debate about which one is better, audio books, physical books, ebooks. In my opinion, deploy all of them. They all provide their advantages, they all cover for the other one's disadvantages, and it's better to have more options than none. There is one caveat: I wouldn't recommend buying a Kindle if you're not really a reader in the first place, because this is not gonna make you magically read more. I, for one, I don't read all the time, and I can go long periods without reading. I'm in that phase now where I just can't be asked to read, and owning a Kindle doesn't really change that. Right now, I'm just not interested in any book, but I know that if I start getting interested in books, it will be through the Kindle because I can easily download and get instant access to a book. So if I see something I like, I don't have to wait to order it or go out to buy it. I could quickly download it and try it. But some more technical stuff about the Kindle. The battery life, haven't had a problem with it. It lasts for ages. I think I've charged this once. Like I said, I haven't used it in a couple weeks, but when I was using it every day, one charge was enough for a long time. The reading experience is great. It just looks like you're reading on a normal book. You can change the brightness, you could change the font size. I think you could change the actual font itself. It all works well. You can customize it. The fact that you can flick through pages with just one finger is very easy. It's a very streamlined process. You ain't got like, fiddle with the page and turn it over. Just tap, boom, you're on the next page. If you want to go back, you can do that. You can open up a screen where you see all the pages listed out in different views. It's just wonderful. The quality is good. It feels like a device. It definitely feels like an electronic device. A very small one. I was rather surprised when I got it, but I've got no complaints about it. It does feel quality. It does feel like you spent a bit of money on it. It doesn't really feel that cheap. and I don't really know what they could have done better. I personally like the percentage sign on how much you read. So if you're 20% through a book, it will say 20%. It helps me keep up to date with like how far I've progressed, how much I've got left. And I really like the fact that you can see what words mean and highlight as you go along, because I was reading a book by Malcolm Gladwell called Tipping Point, and there were quite a few words in there I just didn't understand and I didn't know. Just highlight it and show you what it meant. Quick, simple. I don't need any other device with this. And because it is so easy, say for example you're lying in bed, there have been a few times where I haven't been able to sleep. I just leant over, picked up the Kindle, started reading. Yeah, I put on the bedside lamp, but I didn't need it. Didn't need to flick through pages. I didn't need multiple hands. One hand does plenty. Of course, some downsides is, you know, if you like to take notes, you can't really do it on here. The navigation can be a bit difficult. Say you want to go back 50 pages. It's not as easy as though flicking through the pages. You kind of have to go back or open up the other view. And of course, you need an internet connection to download any book. So you mainly have to download your books before you leave your house, or, you know, find somewhere to connect. I'm pretty sure you can connect to your phone via hotspot or something like that, so that's something that's probably not even a problem. All in all, I think it's brilliant. It's a USB-C port as well, so, you know, keeping up to date. Yeah, if you are a reader, I would recommend. If you're not a reader and you want to get into reading, I wouldn't recommend. Is it better than the other forms? I wouldn't say it's better. Like I said, use all of them in conjunction with each other, deploy all of them, but I am very happy with the purchase. Yeah, it's been your boy Sly, and me out.